is that Tang Renelu has travelled well. He's settled and happy in his stable in the equestrian venue in Diodoro, and that the facilities at the equestrian venue are very horse friendly, which is a big relief to me.
Sounds that everything is ready for you for your second Olympic Games.
Yes.
8 years ago in Hong Kong in the Beijing Olympic Games, you were 18 years ago. You were still a boy at that time. So after 8 years, do you think of the difference between this? What happened during the
Yeah.
8 years and?
It's amazing that 8 years has passed, to be honest, because I still think of myself as a bit like 18 years old. I still don't think of myself as 26. But a huge amount has happened in that short time. In 2008, as you said, I was a young 18-year-old boy. Everything was managed for me by my parents, and the sports side and performance side was very much managed by my coaches. And so at that time, I had to just focus on my riding. I had very little responsibility for everything else. Over the last 8 years, I've gradually taken control of the decisions and the responsibility. I still have a huge amount of help from a lot of people, my parents, my girlfriend Sarah, from the guys in my team that are working at home, looking after the horses at home, and also here in Rio with me. But the decisions and the responsibility are now down to me and my girlfriend. And so that means that the sense of achievement, obviously, is much greater when we do well. But I've also had to learn over the last 8 years that when things don't go so well, you also have to take responsibility for those.
I remember that you told me several times that in Hong Kong 8 years ago, when you came out of the to the competition venue, that you can feel the emotion of
Absolutely.
the fans and the representing China.
Yeah, well,
And do you expect to feel the same emotion this time?
I think it's very different. For Beijing, it was my first Olympic Games. It was my home Olympic Games, and that was extraordinary. And I don't expect to ever feel that same emotion ever again. But this time, it's just as strong, but for a different reason. For 2008, it was very much a fairy tale that finished not how I hoped it would finish. So over the last 8 years, myself and my team have worked really hard. We've shed a lot of blood, sweat and tears to get back here. And so for us, last time was a fairy tale. This time was done on sheer hard work and dedication. And that is a very, very important and a very strong sense of achievement for all of us that have been involved in the story.
You are the only representative of this equestrian sport for China in the Olympic Games. Do you feel that that special meaning for you and for China?
Yeah, I try not to think about it like that. For me, I'm here at Rio to focus on myself and on my horse and our partnership and try and compete as well as we can. On the other hand, I can't help but feel some sense of responsibility that I have a role within this to raise the profile of the sport that I'm passionate about to the Chinese audience and try and raise and broaden the horizons for this wonderful, wonderful sport, this new sport for China. And on the other hand, the same responsibility to fly the flag, the Chinese flag, in this sport, represent China in this very traditionally Western sport. So although I try not to think about it, I do feel the responsibility.
So do you have a special goal? Also, top 20, top 10, top 8, or a medal or things like that?
I think for me, I've brought my younger horse Tang Renelu. Unfortunately, Pai Da Xing, who was my #1 choice before, he's 17. He's quite old already, and he just wasn't really able to take the pressure of the training for this championships, which is a very big shame. Tang Renelu is much younger. He's 9. He's phenomenally talented. He's probably the most talented horse I've ever sat on. But he's very young. He'll be the youngest horse here at Rio, and he'll be the least experienced. So, on his best day, I think he could be very, very competitive. But whether or not he can deliver his best day after traveling all the way across the world, under all of this pressure and expectation? I don't know at the moment. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, your hero, your idol is Mark Todd, Miss Mark Todd, and they also wear a brand of the pants of Mark Todd.
Yes.
I think Mark Todd has competed in about eight
I think. Eight
Olympic Games.
Yeah.
That you are still 26 years.
Yeah.
And do you think then how many Olympic Games
Well, I think
ahead
that's
of you that's in your career?
I think that's an interesting
Can you-
question. You know, Mark is everybody's hero within this sport. He represents so many things that all of us riders want to achieve in our lives. You know, he's won 2 individual gold medals, team medals. He's spanned a great amount of time competing at the top level of the sport and remain competitive and consistent. And he displays amazing horsemanship at all of these championships that other riders can only aspire to. So for everybody, he is our hero. And for me, it proves that it is an interesting question because obviously I was the youngest eventer at an Olympic Games at the age of 18, and it gives me an opportunity to go to many Olympic Games. At the moment, I'm living my dream. You know, I'm competing at Olympic Games, World Championships. I've got a wonderful team of horses at home, a wonderful team of people helping me to do it. So at the moment, I can't imagine doing anything else. You know, when you're living your dream, you want that dream to go on forever. But you know, maybe one day down the road, I might have different priorities. I might change my mind. It's a long time, so it's difficult to say at this stage. But as it stands, I'd like it to go on forever.
That only 4 days before you and Tom Renero will compete at the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about your schedule, the training, your life at the Olympic Village, your daily?
Yeah. Well, it's actually, once you get here, it's quite relaxed. It's so busy and hectic before we fly, and the horse flies, and it's under such high pressure and high emotion. And then you get here to the Olympic Games, and you're amongst all these other amazing athletes, and in the Olympic Village, and your dreams come true. So you have to a little bit pinch yourself and make sure that you're still focused and concentrating on your job. At the same time,
take a day for example. That day that when did you get up? When did you go?
Yeah.
Have your breakfast? When do you go to the training ground?
Yeah.
Or when do you?
So this morning, for example, I woke up at 8 o'clock. I had a shower, had breakfast. I came to see you guys. So after this, I'll head back to the Athletes Village and probably have lunch, and then catch the bus to the venue and give Tang a jump training session this afternoon. But I was saying it's really important once you're here not to get overexcited and lose your composure and start overtraining the horse. You know, at this stage, the horse knows what it's doing. You're not going to change a huge amount. It's just about making sure the horse stays healthy, happy, relaxed, and settled. And it's very tempting to do too much. You have to find that very happy balance of not too much, not too little.
Yeah, and the most I think the most exciting event for your sport is horse racing. Is cross country.
Cross country, yeah.
Cross country. Also, that there are not a lot of people knowing that this event you can't have training for cross country that you said.
Yeah.
As far as I know, then how do you prepare for this?
So the UASI, the cross country, is absolutely the most exciting part of all the equestrian disciplines. And it's one part of our 3 phases in Sanxiangsai in 3-day eventing. And it's, you know, we're galloping for 10 minutes across the countryside, jumping solid obstacles. There's an element of endurance, there's an element of danger and bravery from the horse and the rider. And it tests your partnership as horse and rider to the absolute ultimate. Even the best riders in the world can make mistakes in this phase. So it makes it incredibly exciting for the audience. And as you said, this cross-country course is probably 35 fences. None of these fences the horse will have seen before. The first time the horse sees it is when we start from the cross-country, from the start box on the cross-country. And so the horse has to be able to not only jump the fences, but be able to see the fence, understand the question, and then jump it. So it demands a huge amount mentally from the horse as well as physically. As a rider, of course, you get to walk the course as many times as you want. I will probably walk it 3 or 4 times from when we are allowed to walk it till before the cross country starts. So that as a rider, I'm 100% happy with where everything is, the line that I'm taking, the distances between everything. And so it's a really, really interesting and exciting test of your partnership as horse and rider.
There are a lot of reports about the problems of the organizing ability for Brazil. Have you had any problems in the Olympic Village or the venue or everything, or the transportation?
Well, I think it's always a high-profile thing before an Olympics. You know, the preparation of the Olympic Village and of the facilities. All I can comment on is my own personal experience, which has been very, very positive. You know, I was from getting off the plane to getting into my apartment in the Olympic Village. It took me an hour and a half. The security's been very strong so far. The quality of the equestrian venue is exceptional. My apartment in the Olympic Village, I'm sharing with the coach for the archery team. Is fine. You know, it's not 100% perfect, but you never come to the Olympics thinking that you're going to be living in a 5-star hotel. This is the Olympic Games, and you have to make some compromises and you have to make some sacrifices. And so far, I've had to make surprisingly few.
Do you have some problems to in the Chinese team with the archery team to go to? Maybe they don't have a lot of people speaking English with you.
Yeah, but I think my Chinese is not perfect still, but it's improving, and so I am able to communicate with them enough to have some fun and get to know what they're doing and to explain a little bit about what I'm doing.
So we, the Chinese archery teammate, talk to you to come up to have
yeah,
selfie
absolutely,
with you.
Yeah, definitely. So I haven't actually met the athletes yet. I've met the boss and the coach is who I'm sharing the apartment with.
多少分钟？
那个他既然会说中文，他的汉语也在进步，然后让他能不能用汉语？
我们最后想着说那个。这一切都还在直播当中吗？
对，先聊聊。
哎，哎。
你问问他，他跟他的马平时都是怎么交流？
放松一会儿吧。
子江再问2个问题，把脚放一个。再问2个问题，先聊几句好吧？再听一下我们这。
You said I was told by your mother that your brother and your girlfriend will fly to Brazil to support you at the.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a tremendous team here. Obviously, with the horse, I have Amy, who's Tang's groom, who will be looking after every single little need that Tang needs. The vet, Shouyi, Tang Shouyi, so we'll be looking after the horse's health and making sure that throughout the competition he will be monitored and made sure that he's absolutely 100% healthy and fit to compete. I have 2 trainers. Shenzhong ball trainer and a show jump trainer who are brilliant and who have helped me a huge amount recently, Peter and Corin. Also the physio, Annabelle, so not a physio for me, physio for the real athlete, and that's the horse. So making sure that muscularly he's all very comfortable after his flight and ready to compete, and keeping him comfortable during competition. And then my family's here, my mum and dad, my brother's coming, aunts from both sides of the family. And then my girlfriend and the horse's owners. So Pip and Pam, who own Tang, will be coming. And also, very excitingly, Chu Ye, who owns Pai Da Xing, who very sadly couldn't make it, the horse. But Chu Ye is still coming and coming to support. So we have a big team. We have
the climate here is, I think, is hot. Is different from that in England. Can you?
Yeah, it's very warm. You know, it's much drier than in the UK, but I think temperature-wise, it's not too bad. You know, in the middle of the day, it's hot, and there are some days that are hotter than others. But I think we're quite lucky. It's winter here, so it's not crazy hot. and it's summer in the UK. So actually, the temperature matches quite well, except it's not raining here, and it's always raining in the UK.
Rio has the most beautiful coastline, the beach in the world. And
Yeah.
have you time to go there to
Yeah,
Copacabana?
well, we haven't yet, but we definitely will.
competition.
Copacabana, and the other tourist attractions. We can't wait to see them. We actually tried to go see them yesterday, but things started running out of time, so we're waiting for another
This is
day.
the first time for you to come to Brazil, yeah?
Yeah, South America. It's first time to South America. I've only been to America once in my life, so coming this far west is quite rare for me. But I've enjoyed myself immensely. The volunteers in the Olympic Village and in the venues are wonderfully friendly, very organised. So for me, I know lots of other athletes and other Chinese athletes have had some negative experiences here with the organisation and with some of the facilities, but I think the games haven't started yet. I think there are always going to be teething problems, and for me, you've just got to have, when you come to the Olympic Games, it means so much more than you yourself as an athlete. It means so much more, and you've got to be part of that and take it all as a positive experience.
I think the eventing athletes are, I think the what you are very familiar with each other. I think this is a small, most of them are competing in Europe.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
have you talked to them in the
Yeah,
Olympic Village
absolutely,
there?
absolutely. Yeah, I keep bumping into. It's funny. I keep bumping into the Australian team. The British team I know really well. There's an individual competing for Zimbabwe, Camilla Kruger, who's done quite a lot with us in the lead up to this, sharing information with each other and sharing resources with each other. So we're very lucky in this sport that although we're very competitive, we're all out there to do as well as we can or to win. We're also very friendly with each other, and there's never a frosty moment. We're all in it together.
What advice can you give to the Chinese riders in the future for this sport to come?
Yeah, I think it's amazing. The Chinese riders are very talented. The three riders that I was in a team with for the Asian Games in Incheon were very, very talented riders, and had a lot of potential to compete at a very high level. Really, the problem I see is geography and quarantine. At the moment, because of geography and quarantine, because China is so far away from the centre of the sport, the UK and Europe, and also because there are restrictions on flying horses in between, it's very difficult to do two things at the same time: to compete in China and to do the national games, or to compete in Europe and do the Olympic Games. And for me, my focus has always been, and people are very welcome to criticize me, but for me, my priority and my dream has always been to fly the Chinese flag at the Olympic Games and the World Championships. And that means being 100% focused and 100% dedicated to competing at the top level in the UK and Europe.
So we also watch other sports, athletics, Usain Bolt or Chinese table tennis or badminton.
Absolutely. I can't
diving.
wait. I can't wait. I managed to because my accreditation only lets me into the equestrian venue. I remember in Beijing, I managed to sneak my way into the Bird's Nest Stadium. The volunteers recognized me, which was amazing, and let me in, which I'm sure they weren't allowed to do, but they let me in, and I stood in the athletes viewing area in the Bird's Nest Stadium, and I watched Usain Bolt and the rest of the Jamaican 4x100 relay team win gold medal, and that was the standout moment for me at the Beijing Olympics. To be there on the last night and watch that was amazing.
You told me that you have taking Chinese lessons once every week. So what's your Chinese?
还可以, 还可以, 但是 don't test me too much because it's still embarrassingly not good enough. But it's slowly getting better, and my plan is to continue with my Chinese lessons after the Olympics. And I'm aiming to spend more time in China this winter after my season in Europe has finished. So you know, my priority now is to invest as much time as I can into improving my Chinese.
But when we were waiting at the security checkpoint, I found that you can understand
Yes.
most of the, but you just
My Chinese is very good until you put a camera in my face, and then I feel a little bit under pressure, and then it like disappears. But
so can you talk to the fans in Chinese?
Yeah. 大家好，我是华天。6号到9号是我的马术比赛，在里约奥运会。It's okay?
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
No, you're welcome once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Good luck.
Thank you.